Good morning, class. This is our lecture on taxonomy. So, again, good morning, and I hope that all of you are ready to learn. So, let's dig into it. Review muna tayo. So, naalala nyo ba ang taong ito? Siya ay walang iba kundi si Carl Linnaeus. Si Carl Linnaeus, siya ang isang scientist na nag-introduce ng taxonomy or the naming of organisms. So, later on, ma-appreciate natin kung ano ang kanyang contribution when it comes to the naming of organisms. Organisms basically are divided into three domains. We have the bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. Pag sinabi nating bacteria, these are microscopic organisms na hindi natin ito nakikita by our naked eye, same as the archaea. Pero ang pinagkaiba lang nila itong archaea, these are the prehistoric microorganisms na ito ay pinaniniwalaan na siya yung mga sinaunang organisms na kung saan sa kanila nagmula ang buhay. And when we talk about eukarya, ito naman yung mga cells with complex structures kagaya ng mushroom, ng mga halaman, at mga hayop. Kasama na tayo doon. So we belong under the domain eukarya. So lahat ng mga organisms, basta nabubuhay, kagaya ng mga halaman, seaweeds, isda, bacteria, even yung kalabaw at yung mushroom, may mga tawag tayo, iba't ibang tawag natin in various cultures. So, how can we distinguish one organism from the other? Of course, meron tayong tinatawag na pangalan. So, we name the organisms. Now, we use names, kagaya halimbawa, ng pusa. Pag nakakita tayo nito, tatawagin natin pusa. Sa ibang mga cultures, like in English, they call it cat. And then, kung pupunta ka sa ibang lugar, kagaya ng Iloilo, ang tawag nila doon ay kuring. Pagpunta mo ng Cebu, ang tawag nila doon ay kuti. So, we use names. Pero ang problema is baka ma-confuse tayo. Dahil iba-iba naman ang tawag sa parehong organism in a so iba-iba ang tawag. Okay? So, halimbawa pag pupunta ka sa Cebu, sasabihin mo, "Uy, ang daming langgam." Ngayon, sabi nila, "Nasaan ang langgam?" Kasi ang langgam sa kanila ay ibon. Okay, so magkakalituhan. So dito na pumapasok ang taxonomy. Okay, so kung makikita niyo yan sa slides, we have classifying, naming, and describing. So these are the keywords of taxonomy. So taxonomy, by the way, is the science of naming and describing and classifying organisms. Okay, and includes all plants, all animals, and microorganisms in the world. Okay, so we name, we describe, and we classify. Now, so for this activity, I want you to arrange the following from the greatest to the least. Ibig sabihin yung pinaka-greatest, yung pinaka-malaki, and then you have the least, yung pinaka-maliit. So I'll give you 1 minute to do it. Or I should say 30 seconds to do it. Let's start. Use numbers only. Okay, malapit na. Alright, time is up. So, tingnan natin kung nakuha niyo yung sagot. So, yung pagkakasunod-sunod nito ay 6, 1, 4, 8, 5, 3, 2, and 7. So, ito yung pagkakasunod-sunod nila. So, para maalala lang natin yung pagkakasunod-sunod nila, we will remember this phrase, Dr. King Philip cried out for good soup. So D stands for domain, K stands for kingdom, P, phylum, C, class, O stands for order, F stands for family, G stands for the genus, and S for the species. So, tingnan na natin ito. So, yung pinakamataas kanina, nabanggit natin, it is the kingdom. So, pagkatapos ng, domain, and then it will be followed by the kingdom, then the phylum, the class, the order, family, genus, and then the species. Yun yung pinaka-specific. So, pinaka-broad sa lahat is the domain, and then followed by the kingdom, then phylum, class, order, family, genus, and then the species. So, ano bang ibig sabihin nitong mga nabanggit natin kanina? When we talk about domain, ang ibig sabihin ng domain, to rule or govern. Sa Tagalog, namamahala. Pag sinabi nyo namang kingdom, we're talking about kaharian. Phylum, it means a race o kaya lahi. Class, it's a division or pagkakahati. Order means rank or rango o antas. And then, when we talk about family, it means slaves of the house or kasama sa isang tahanan. And genus, it means it gives birth to, o yung technically, ito yung mga magulang, and species, it pertains to kind or uri. Now, let us proceed. So, tingnan natin for instance, itong nasa picture, ito ay isang aso. Okay, so this dog, kung ano ba ang pangalan nito, base doon sa classification natin, tanggalin na natin yung domain at saka kingdom. So the name would be Chordata mammalian carnivora canidae canis familiaris. Again, it's Chordata mammalian carnivora canidae canis familiaris. So ito yung combination ng pangalan gamit natin yung hierarchy of biological classification. Nagsimula tayo from the race, which is Chordata, then Mammalia or mammalian, yan yung kanyang class, then Carnivora Canidae canis familiaris. Okay, so all dogs came into a group called the species o yung kanyang uri. So tingnan natin ito, yung susunod. Okay, so tatandaan natin that two species can interbreed and produce fertile offsprings. Ibig sabihin, pagka magkapareho ng species, pwedeng magkaanak. So, kagaya nitong dalawang asong ito, pag sila ay nagkaroon ng pagtatalik, sila ay magkakaanak. Pero meron ding iba na hindi magkakaanak. Kagaya nitong ating or hindi na magko-continue ang kanilang generation, yung kanilang lahi. So halimbawa itong kabayo at yung itong donkey ay nagkaroon sila ng pagtatalik, magkakaanak din sila. Ang tawag ng kanilang anak ay mule. Pero pagkatapos nitong mule na ito, hindi na ito magkakaanak, okay, kasi ito ay baog na. There will be a stoppage or the species will discontinue. Okay, kagaya rin ito ng pag nag-combine itong si lion at saka si tiger, it will produce a so-called a new breed called a liger. Yun nga lang, pagkatapos nito si liger, wala nang chance na magkakaroon pa ng continuance of species kasi there is a block. Okay? So, dahil magkaiba sila ng tinatawag nating uri. Hindi sila magkauri na dalawa. Alright, so balik tayo dito. So, this dog, Canis familiaris, and this is a wolf, this is, and then we have the jackal. So again, sabi natin kanina, ang scientific name ni dog is Canis familiaris, while the wolf is Canis lupus, and the jackal is Canis aureus. So lahat sila, they belong to a group called Canis. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, they belong to the same parent. Okay? Magkapareho yung kanilang parent, which is the Canis. Okay? So, sila, etong tatlong ito, kung mapapansin natin, they belong also to a same genus na kagaya ng nabanggit ko kanina, which is Canis. Ganun pa man, okay, if we add another animal into the scenario, kung mapapansin nyo, anong nakikita nyo? It is a fox. We call it the vulpes. So, kung titingnan natin, kung pagsasama-samahin natin sila, itong si fox ay halos may similarity sa ating nabanggit na sa family, sa genus na Canis. Pero, magkaiba ito kasi tingnan nyo, ang laki ng kanyang tenga, maliit ang kanyang katawan. So, hindi tama yung proportion ng kanyang katawan. Okay? Kaya makaklasify natin siya in one family. Okay? So, they belong to one house, the house of dogs. Okay? Pero, magkakaiba sila. Okay? And the family is called Canidae. Now, so let us now move on. So, kunwari, isasama natin itong si fox, pagsama-samahin natin sila, and then i-add natin sa scenario itong dalawa, si cat at saka si bear. Kung titingnan natin, si cat at saka si bear, medyo familiar sila pero talagang magkaiba sila. They are similar but different in many things. Kasi kung tutusin, they just belong to the same order. Okay, magkaiba yung kanilang order at ang order nila ay tinawag nating carnivora. Ibig sabihin, ang mga grupo ng hayop na ito ay magkakapareho. Saan sila nagkakapareho? Nagkakapareho sila dahil lahat-lahat sila ay kumakain ng karne. Carnivorous sila. Okay. Now, again, kung dadagdagan natin ito ng another set of animals, dagdagan natin ito ng bat, dagdagan natin ito ng dolphin, okay, o ng orca, ng killer whale, ng rat, ng monkey at ng gorilla. So, sila ay magkakauri. Okay, pwede silang pagsama-samahin sa isang grupo at ang tawag sa grupo na yon ay class Mammalia. So, they belong to a certain group known as the class Mammalia. So, paano naman natin ito may papaliwanag? Anong grupo? Paano natin sila kinlassify? So, we classify them according to their mammary gland. So, ibig sabihin sila ay nagpapadede o nagpapasuso. So, itong mga hayop na ito, okay, they belong to the same class. The class Mammalia, ibig sabihin, they they have the mammary glands, okay, to feed their young. So, pinapadede nila, pinapagatas nila ang kanilang mga anak, okay, using their mammary glands. Ngayon, dagdagan naman natin. How about if we add the frog, the lizard, and the bird? So, paano naman natin sila makaklasify? So, we can classify them under a group known as the vertebrates or chordata. Okay? So, we classify them under the phylum Chordata. So, ano ang ibig sabihin ng phylum? Ang ibig sabihin ng phylum, lahi o race. So, this is a race of animals wherein they have backbones. So, meron silang backbone. So, meron silang vertebral column. They have these vertebrates. Okay? Ngayon, kung pagsasamahin natin yung iba't iba pang mga hayop, kagaya nito, ano bang nakikita natin ito? Ito naman yung grupo ng walang mga backbone. So, they call it the invertebrates. So, i-add natin sila dito sa grupo na ito, both the vertebrates and the invertebrates, it will form the group known as the animal kingdom. So, yun yung classify ng ating mga animals. Based on the kingdom classification, again, we have the code Dr. King Philip cried out for good soup. So, ang una, so classify natin ito sa D, which is the domain, which is your highest, which is composed with, ano nga yun kanina? So, we have the bacteria, the archaea, and then the eukarya. And then followed by K, which is the kingdom. King Philip cried out for good soups, followed by the phylum, and then class, order, family, genus, and then the species. So, atin lang itong tatandaan. So, again, thank you very much. Have a nice day.